All right, let's dive into a story that really spans centuries. It's a journey of faith, of law, and some pretty incredible engineering. We're going to break down how the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya went from a deeply held idea to the monumental reality it is today. To get a sense of just how huge the vision is for this project, just listen to these words from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. You can tell this isn't just about building a temple. It's about creating a symbol for the entire nation's future, tying spiritual heritage directly to national ambition. So first up, let's talk about what this temple truly represents. For millions of people, it's the physical form of a cultural identity that's been around for centuries. It's seen as the sacred birthplace of Lord Ram, which makes it a kind of spiritual compass for devotees all over the world. And a really huge moment is just around the corner. The Dwaj Arahan ceremony, which is set for late 2025, is going to mark the temple's full completion. In tradition, hoisting a religious flag like this is deeply symbolic. It represents the triumph of Dharma, which is this idea of righteousness and cosmic order, and it's like an open invitation to the world. But how did we even get here? Well, that brings us to our next section, the path to construction. A monumental structure like this doesn't just appear overnight. It's actually at the end of a very long, very complex history. And the site itself was part of a dispute that lasted for centuries. Its foundation today is built on a modern legal journey, one that was resolved through India's own judicial system. So let's trace that final path. This timeline here really shows you the key steps in the modern era. It all started with a unanimous verdict from the Supreme Court back in November 2019, which aimed to find a legal resolution to that long-standing dispute. That decision led right to the formation of a special trust to oversee construction, and by August 2020, the foundation stone was officially laid. It was a very structured, step-by-step process. And, the court's decision was incredibly specific. It awarded this precise amount of land, 2.77 acres, for the temple. Seeing that number really makes the scope of that historic verdict feel tangible and crystal clear. At the end of the day, the resolution was seen as more than just an outcome for one group. It was really framed as a landmark moment for the country's whole legal framework, a victory for the rule of law and the constitutional principles that India is built on. Okay, now let's get into the physical structure itself, because it is an absolute architectural marvel. This is where ancient craftsmanship meets modern engineering in a really stunning way. The construction itself is just as remarkable as the story behind it. So the temple is built in the traditional Nagara style. That's a classic form of North Indian temple architecture. And choosing this style was a very intentional way to connect this new structure to a rich design heritage that's centuries old. The style is famous for its beehive-shaped tower, the shikara, that rises right over the most sacred part of the temple. And the scale of this place is just wow. We're talking about nearly 400 pillars and 44 different gates, and all of them are covered with these incredibly intricate carvings of deities. Inside, you have the main sanctum, the Garbhagriha, with the idol of Ram Lala, and it's surrounded by 5 different halls, or mandaps, each for a different devotional activity. A project of this magnitude you could imagine needs a phenomenal team, and this slide shows that collaboration perfectly. You've got traditional design expertise from Sri Chandrakant Sompura, major construction power from Larsen & Toubro, and critical research and development support from India's top engineering schools, the IITs. It's a true blend of ancient art and modern-day might. 1,000 years. That's how long the temple's foundation is designed to last. This isn't just about building for today. It's an engineering feat designed to create a legacy that will stand for a millennium. It's really a testament to the advanced science that went into building it. Now, the temple's impact extends far beyond its own walls, which brings us to our 4th section. It's acting as this powerful catalyst for growth, sparking a kind of dual transformation in Ayodhya, where heritage and development are happening at the same time. And right here, you can see that dual impact so clearly. On one side, you have the restoration of ancient, sacred sites like the Sitakope well, and on the other, you have brand new infrastructure like an international airport and better roads. It's all part of this comprehensive vision to turn Ayodhya into a global hub. All right, let's zoom out to the global picture for our final section, because the spirit and the symbolism of the Ram Mandir are already echoing around the world, making it a real beacon of faith and culture. And here's a fantastic, concrete example of that global resonance. Inspired by everything happening in Ayodhya, Trinidad and Tobago is now planning its own Grand Ram Mandir. This just goes to show how the temple is sparking a cultural and spiritual exchange that goes way beyond geography. This final quote really brings us back to the core idea. The temple is positioned as something much more than just a religious site. It's being presented as a temple of national consciousness, a place that embodies the core principles, faith, and foundation of India itself. This whole project makes you think about a pretty fundamental question. How do you build a modern legacy on an ancient foundation? What we're seeing here is a path that was forged through modern law and engineering, but it's all rooted in a belief system that's thousands of years old. In the end, the Ram Mandir is really being presented as a bridge that connects India's ancient past to its hopes for a globally connected future, all while standing as this powerful symbol of resilience and unwavering devotion. And that leaves us with one final lingering thought to ponder. If we look ahead, past our own lifetimes, to that 1,000-year future this temple was built for, what story will these stones tell then?